for people might remember that the setup for this book is that there's this older, evil, powerful state that is sort of crumbling and very corrupt, and there's this younger, newer, more just state that's up and coming. And the art of war is the tale of like wise advice to that newer, up and coming state on how to conquer that old evil state. And this became sort of the archetypal battle of ancient China of like there was the old Shang and the new Chao, and the Shang were evil, or sorry, the Chao were evil, and the uh, anyway, I'm not a expert on it, but I think it was the Shang that were evil and the Chao that were new and good. So they always had this tale in their minds, and I'll just read a couple things from the commentary here. The Chow's determined effort to free the realm from the yoke of suffering and establish rule of virtue and benevolence became the inspirational essence of China's moral self-perception. As dynasties decayed and rulers became morally corrupt and increasingly ineffectual, new champions of righteousness appeared who confronted the oppressive forces of government, rescued the people from imminent doom, and returned the state to benevolent policies. So there's this idea of, a well-governed state is benevolent. It's taking care of the people. And that is this aspect of maintaining the Tao. But it's when a state starts to go after its own interests and it neglect its people and things start to fragment. That's when things go bad and they're moving away from virtue. So it says here, according to Confucian thought, which became the orthodox philosophy and prescribed view in ancient China, the ruler need only cultivate virtue, accord with the seasons, and implement benevolent policies in order to be successful in attracting universal support and fostering stability. And so, a good government, by their standards, was one that avoided the pitfalls of extravagance and debauchery. So, basically, don't be corrupt and spend all your money on yourself and, wild politics parties and that sort of stuff. Flights to private islands in certain places. Instead of exploiting and exhausting the people, its kings generally fostered policies to nurture them, increase population, and stimulate productivity. And just ending these couple quick notes, some of those really just practical things that they call benevolent. One of the evils that they attributed to these evil kings, these evil rulers, were imposing heavy taxes. Like that seems really practical. That seems like something people can have the idea, oh, that's just something modern people complain about or Americans complain about. But heavy taxes has always been a detriment to society and a burden on people and has always stirred uprisings. Um, and again, here, people think about profit and capitalism and they're like, oh, again, modern West, that's just something they say, blah, blah, blah. But again, ancient China, when they were rectifying the government, one of the things they did was, in a specific scenario, it says they opened up occupations of the merchants and artisans. So they allowed merchants and artisans to do their own work for their own profit and facilitated the realization of profits from fish and salt. So before these people were not getting their own private profits, and then once the state returned to benevolent policies, they were. So there's this really, I mean, there'll be a lot in terms of internal virtue that we talk about, but the external and the societal and just the simple and practical are really kind of obvious things. And people, I think today kind of bat them off and like, oh, that's just, a capitalist talking point or a right-wing talking point. But it's like, actually, people providing for their own lives and flourishing is pretty core to the Tao, to the spirit of a nation, to a nation doing well.